I want to talk to you today about something that has been on my mind for a long time, and honestly, something I think about every single time I sit down to teach systems. We talk about systems constantly in the business world. Build systems so you can scale, build systems so you can thrive, build systems so you can get into your rhythm. And I believe all of that. But here's what I don't hear enough people say. There is no right or wrong system. There's only finding the system that works for you. And I think that distinction matters more than most anything else that I could teach you. I spent years before Dani's Kitchen Shop as a non traditional educator with Oregon State University Extension Service for youth development. My whole purpose was to help young people find their spark. We'd expose kids to ideas and crafts and animals and STEM and art, you name it. It was honestly one of the best jobs I've ever had because of that. But here's what I observed over and over again in education, and honestly in the world at large. We build systems and then we force people into them. We build one school system and we expect every single kid to thrive inside of it. And when they don't, when a kid can't sit still or learns differently or doesn't test well, we often label it as a problem with the kid when really it might be a problem with the system. I'm going to stand up and say the same thing about business. Not every system works for every person. What works for me might not work for you. And if you've been trying to copy someone else's business model and wondering why it feels so hard, I want you to hear this. It might not be a you problem. It might just be that you're trying to live inside somebody else's system. Here's a way I like to think about it. Because we're bakers and we think in recipes, systems are like recipes. You'll try a lot of them. Some will become your favorites. Some you'll make once and never try again. And eventually you'll start tweaking a little more of this, a little more of that until it's yours. That's the goal. Yes, there are basics that every business has to figure out. Finances, ordering, scheduling, those fundamentals exist for everyone. But no two bakers have to do any of it the same way. You could bake one day a week and build a thriving, sustainable business around that one day. Someone else might bake every day. Both are valid, both can work. The question is, which one fits your life? The whole point of building a bakery of your own is that it is your own. It needs to fit your life, not mine, not anyone else that follows you on social media. I built my bakery around farming. My husband, Herbie, is a fourth generation pear farmer, raising my kids, having flexibility to show up for my family, growing dahlias in my backyard, and creating a place of community in Hood River. That's what my bakery is shaped around. Your life probably looks really different, and that means your bakery should probably look really different too. That is not a bug. That is the point of building a bakery of your own. Let me get real specific because I think specifics are where this comes to life. In 2026, I will have 80 hours of retail for the entire year. 80 hours. And in those 80 hours, I will sell somewhere between $400 and $500 per hour. Meanwhile, I'll spend somewhere between 150 and 200 hours teaching classes. Why? Because retail doesn't fit my life. I don't want to lock myself into working set hours. Every weekend, staffing a counter. I don't want that. So I don't. I made a choice and I built my system around that choice. Everything else in my bakery is ordered, pre sold. I collect money up front before I bake. I sell it and then I bake it. That model makes the bake easier for me to fulfill. I'm not baking and hoping it sells. I already know exactly what's going out the door. Now, I need to be clear that model might not work for you. Pre selling might create too much pressure. It might make baking feel less joyful. And that's okay, as long as you know that about yourself. You might love baking for a weekly farmer's market, showing up, setting out your display, not knowing exactly what will sell, and finding joy in that spontaneity. You might love supplying a local coffee shop every week. There is real joy in baking whatever you feel like making versus filling specific orders. And I get that. My summer system is actually a beautiful blend of both. I set a weekly theme. I pre-sell a set amount. I bake that set amount. And then I fill the rest of the week for retail with whatever I feel like making. That flexibility means I really only have to show up with intention one day a week to fulfill my orders, and everything else is for fun. That's a system I invented for my life, and you get to invent yours. Here's the piece I really want you to sit with, because I think it's the most practical thing I can offer you today. Ask yourself, what do I hate showing up for? Then build a system to take out the dread. I have a love-hate relationship with booking custom orders. I love them. They're creative. They're fun. I genuinely look forward to making them, but I hate the back and forth communication, the endless messages, the can you do this color and what about this size types of threads. So I built a system that puts the work on the customer. They fill out a form, they provide the details, and now I have to follow up and clarify with somebody maybe once a month. And I'm filling multiple custom orders every single week. The dread is almost gone. I didn't eliminate the thing I hate, I engineered around it. That's what systems do. They don't have to make your business look like someone else's. They have to make your business feel sustainable to you. The systems we talk about in a bakery of your own, the framework, the stages, all of it, they exist to help you be consistent, to make your business sustainable, to get you into a rhythm that you can actually maintain for the long haul. But I'm never going to tell you which specific systems to use because I don't know your life. I don't know your family, your schedule, your energy, your goals. Only you know those things. What I can do is give you tools, help you find clarity, walk with you while you figure out what your version of this looks like. So here's what I want to leave you with today. Don't look at somebody else's bakery and think, I want to build that. Dream up your own. That's the whole thing. That's all of it. Thanks for being here. I'll see you on the next Mixing Up Success.